What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode on the Landscaping Podcast, powered by Landscaping Unlimited. I am your host, Zachary Small, and today we are talking about hurricane season. It is June 1st as of this recording. We're dropping it on June 3rd, so you're listening is June 3rd, but it is June 1st, which is the beginning of hurricane season. This runs till November 30th, and we're going to talk about ways for you to prepare your lawn. Now, the Weather Association, the National, I don't even know, the NOAA, they said it's going to be a lower level hurricane season for North Carolina. They had a certain amount of storms named. It was lower. A lot of this was in the trend of it's not going to be as bad this year. Kind of that's why they went. I wrote the numbers down. 55% chance of fewer storms than the average, 35% near normal. There are 8 to 14 storms. There are going to be 3 to 6 hurricanes, and one of those three are going to be major. So we're expecting one major storm throughout the year. Cool. One, storms don't care about your probability. They don't care about the statistics. What storms do is what storms do. They go and be storms. Two, I've been deployed. I spent over 660 days at sea while in the U.S. Navy. And during that time, I saw the raw power of the ocean. It does not care. Bottom line, if you've ever seen um, Deadliest Catch, where they're out there crabbing, like you understand the ocean does not care. And so when the ocean is brewing up that storm, it doesn't care that it said there's only gonna be one storm. If that one storm comes in, I'm saying storm, not even saying hurricane. If one of those, smaller storms come in, but it just nails your property, well, what does it matter if it was a lower season? You still got wrecked. And so that's like what is most important here is you're taking care of yourself regardless of what the Weather Association says. You've got to take care of your property. And there are easy ways to do that and set yourself up for success. Now, Landscaping Unlimited, we can work with you for the preventative side and the corrective side. And so what we're looking at is like we're not a weather company, but we deal with the weather. We often deal with the aftermath of the weather. What we would love to do more is prepare properties for before that weather even hits. What do I mean by that? Well, that means cleaning out your gutters. When that water is falling hard into your roof and your gutters are blocked, well, now that water is starting to splash over to other areas, messing up your mulch, messing up your property, creating flooding areas that might go into your foundation. There's a lot that can happen if you don't properly channel water to where it needs to go. Well, plan that before the storms come in. Don't wait until your lawn's flooded to be like, man, we really got to take care of this water issue. Plan for that now while we're in the beginning of the season. Another major thing is trees. If you have dead trees, did you know that Landscaping Unlimited can get rid of those for you? We aren't a tree company, but again, everything outside, we can do it. And if it's not on our schedule, if we are just kind of booked up for the time that you need it, or you're one of those trees to be down, well, we know a lot of people who can. So reach out and we might have to put you in contact with the right person, or we'll do it ourselves. But do that before that tree falls on your shed or falls on your house or falls on a person, which would be the absolute worst case scenario. If you know it's dead, if you're looking up and the limbs aren't growing, it's been dead for a while, it's just an inevitability as to like when it's going to come down. The question's when. And you'd rather it come down when there are people there with chainsaws and taking it down in a certain area in a safe manner, as opposed to it just collapsing onto your home. So again, looking at the water, looking at the trees, just looking at your landscape, whether they got some low points that you want to be filled in, or if you want to kind of channel things to get a little French drain action going, or just to have like a swell so you can kind of send the water in a certain area, we can do all of that. And we would love to do that before issues happen. Now, cleanup, yeah, I mean, your lawn gets jacked up, we're there for you. We can fix your lawn. Your flower beds get destroyed, we can fix that out too. The gutters get ripped off the house. Shay's a licensed general contractor. We can work on houses now. We can do a lot, but why wait for the damage to occur? And that's like, I really want you focused there. Be proactive in this and not just reactive. The weather professionals, the weather gurus, they're saying this season's going to be less detrimental, like less impactful, less like disastrous compared to past years. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen at all. So if you prepare yourself properly, you're going to be able to walk your lawn as of at the end of this podcast or later today, after you hear it, go walk your property, walk around what needs to be taken care of. What can you do now just so you have peace of mind? So when you're sitting in your house, now I heard this great story. It was a farmer and he said he was looking to hire a farmhand. And one of the guys came up and he said, "You should hire me because I can sleep through a storm." And the farmer was like, "What does that mean? You can sleep through a storm? Like, why would I want somebody who's going to sleep through the storm?" And he's like, "Just trust me." Well, not many people applied. And so he ended up hiring this guy. And he's like, "Man, I don't know what that means, but we'll find out, I guess." So time goes by. The farmhand does his job. He's working around. And then inevitably, a big storm comes through. And the farmer walking around, he sees that the farmhand is nowhere to be seen. So he's going to assume, like, all right, I guess this dude really does not care. He doesn't care that all this could be going on or anything could be happening right now. He's just going to sleep through the storm. And so maybe I shouldn't have hired this guy. And so he goes around and he checks, his animals. Well, they're already put away and they're already shored up and they're already got their hay, they got their food, they got their water. It's already taken care of. Well, then he goes to check the shed. Well, it's already battened down and all the hatches are closed, everything's secured. And he goes to check the tools. Well, it's already put away. He goes to check the equipment. It's already put away. And he realized in that moment after he comes in soaking wet, he understands he had to go out and check on these things because he didn't know they were done. Where the handyman, his farmhand, he was able to sleep because he knew he did everything he had to do. He didn't have to worry about the storm. Let the storm do what the storm's going to do. He had to be there in case if something broke, maybe, but nothing was left undone. He'd already walked the property. He'd already taken care of everything. He'd already done his job. That's what you've got to do today. At the end of this podcast, if you don't take time to go and to check your property, well, when that storm hits, you're going to be worrying. Man, I really hope this holds up because you didn't really check it or tighten it down. Man, I hope that doesn't flood because you didn't handle your water issues. You didn't take the actions necessary to ensure it didn't flood. Well, man, I hope this and man, I hope that. You don't have to have hopes. You can have guarantees. You know that you can do the work and you can hire the professionals to come in and ensure that you are safe during those storms. And so if that's what you're looking to do, reach out to Landscaping Unlimited. We've got links everywhere. If you listen to the podcast, you know who we are, or you have an idea as to how to contact us. So reach out and let's have the conversation. Let's go walk the property. Let's go through everything, get an estimate for the jobs that you want done. Let's see what the budget looks like, what you want to happen, what you can afford to happen, and what you've got the time to make happen. And then let's just get to work and make it happen. That's what we do. And so just because the weather is saying it's not going to be as bad this year, like that's almost worse because it's going to have people relaxing. People are going to get caught off guard and they hate that because that means preventable suffering. And what I mean by that is if you're going to feel pain, you didn't have to feel. If you're going to feel stress, you didn't have to feel. Like that's all preventable by taking a few actions and hiring professionals. You've got a licensed landscape contractor, a licensed general contractor, a licensed pesticide applicator, a licensed irrigation specialist. We've got all the equipment that we need, all the manpower that we need, all the experience that we need. We've got everything you could possibly need to include the insurance and the licenses to give you the professional quality product that you're looking for, which will give you peace of mind during storms. And just because we're the ones doing work, like you're the one that people are going to turn to. And so when you're at home and the kids are scared, the wife is scared, or whatever the situation is, they're looking to you. You know you've done all the work. And that's so you can sit there and be like, yeah, remember all that money? You're like, do we really need to channel where the water goes and pay to have that all graded out? Well, that's where that money comes back, your peace of mind. And that's something that it's worth it. It's worth you being relaxed when things are getting crazy. It's like when supermarkets shut down during COVID and all that. The families that had prepared with food, the people who are prepared for society to not always take care of them, they had the time of their lives during COVID. They didn't miss anything. They weren't worried at all. They had what they needed. They just tried to not get sick. But they could go out, they had their food, they had their water, they weren't worried, they had their power supply. Like they were just chilling. And while some people were losing their minds and like have like PTSD from that time frame because of all the stress that they went through, like they legitimately have like mental scars from that. They can think back and they get a little nauseous. Where others had a great time. I had a great time, but I also like prepare myself to be self-sufficient from what society offers me. And so that's what I'm telling you right now. Prepare yourself, prepare your property, your lawn. Make sure you're picking things up and you're prepared to have all of this squared away before that storm hits. Because just because it's going to be a lower impact season doesn't mean it's going to be a non-impact season. So that's my recommendation to you after this episode. Go and walk your property, prepare for the hurricanes that are coming. Even if it's just a bunch of smaller storms, that one hurricane or that small storm, if it hits just right, is going to jack you up. It's going to jack whoever up. So let's not treat it as if it's a non-issue just because the Weather Channel said it's going to be less of an issue. All right, thank you for tuning in. This has been another episode on the Landscaping Podcast. Short, sweet, right to the point because I respect your time and I respect my own. I've got work to get to go and do, but it was great talking to you. And if you have any questions or any topics you want covered, reach out. Make sure you have reviewed, liked, subscribed, shared, all those great things. But again, when you guys put that 5-star on this podcast, it promotes us to more. So I appreciate it greatly. You guys stay well.